Welcome to another episode of the Money Wheel Podcast. The journey to wealth starts here with your host, Don Shade.
Hello, my friend and future millionaire. Welcome to this episode of the Money Wheel. My name is Don Shade. You know, I'm going to ask you kind of an odd question. What's on page 17 of your training? And I know what you're thinking. Well, Don, I don't have any training put together, and I have no idea what would be on page 17. The reason I ask you that is this, to prove a point. Some of you are focused on a step that is way beyond where you are. In other words, you don't have any of your course created, or you don't have any of your program put together, so to speak. But you're worried about one step, like who's going to write the copy, or how do I run Facebook ads? I don't know anything about that stuff. And you're focused on what you don't know instead of focusing on what you do know. Let's start out with putting together your introduction. What do you want people to know about you as they're going into your training? What happens in the first step of your program? What do you know that is valuable to somebody else? What's the main thing, the main message that you want to get out to people? You know, back when you were a teenager and you were first learning to drive, you didn't go out, jump on the interstate and run along 75, 80 mile an hour. But now that you've got some experience under your belt, it's nothing for you to be clipping down the road 70, 80 mile an hour, looking for cops, drinking coffee, and talking on the cell phone at the same time, all because you've became comfortable with it. Your internet business is going to be the same way. You know, some episodes back, I focused on you writing a list of stuff you needed help with to put your business together. One of the things I want to make sure of is you don't get stuck with that list in your head. I want you to be focusing on what you know and the things you're good at as we put together your course and move you forward towards creating your $1 million roadmap. And one of the things that I'm going to point out to you is you may be working on 2 or 3 steps at the same time. Meaning, okay, I have a part of my course put together, and I kind of know what I want to say in ads when I'm going to sell my product or my coaching, but I don't know how to put those ads together. So we may need a virtual assistant or a copywriter to help you. So one of the things I want you to do is put together a list of the challenges that you know you're going to have. Is it going to be computer skills? Is it going to be copywriting, running ads? Maybe you're struggling with, I don't know what my price point is going to be. Well, this is all stuff that we think about as we're building your course. In other words, I don't want to get stuck here. I want you to focus on putting together your course, doing the parts you know. At the same time, we're going to be looking for who can help me to run Facebook ads or to do the copy or whatever it is that I'm struggling with. And the reason I said, what's on page 17 of your training, is I knew that would get your attention. Because right away you're thinking to yourself, wow, I don't even have a training put together. I have no idea what's on page 17. Well, neither does anybody else. You worry about page 17 when you get to page 17. What I want you to worry about now is getting started. This has to be the beginning. As we move forward, we'll deal with all the problems as they come up. We'll find a copywriter. We'll find somebody to run Facebook ads or do whatever it takes to sell your package. We'll find somebody to put your website together or your funnel. Don't worry about that stuff. I want you to focus on what you know. That's everything I have for today's episode of The Money Wheel. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Money Wheel Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and like the podcast. For everything that was talked about in today's amazing show, go to moneywheelpodcast.com and get today's show notes, past episodes, and most importantly, you can connect with Don Shade on all his social media platforms. Again, at moneywheelpodcast.com. If you are just looking to email Don, you can email him at don@moneywheelpodcast.com. For a list of all our tools we use in our business, you can go to moneywheelpodcast.com/resources. Again, thank you for listening to today's podcast, and see you in our next episode of the Money Wheel Podcast.